So let's talk about a company that's sitting right at the intersection of two of the biggest revolutions happening today: artificial intelligence and, believe it or not, nuclear energy. The big question is this the real deal, the future of power, or is it just a whole lot of hype? Let's dig in. Okay, so it all kicks off with this chart. I mean, just look at it. A company called Oklo that most of us had probably never even heard of sees its stock price just skyrocket. It jumps from around 21 bucks all the way to over 142. That's a jump of over 570%. And this isn't some meme stock. So what on earth could cause a surge like this? Well, the answer is one of the most powerful and power-hungry forces in the world right now. And that brings us to what we're calling the AI power-up deal. You guessed it. The driving force behind this whole story is the absolutely insatiable energy demand from the AI boom. Think about it. All those large language models, these massive data centers, they are consuming electricity at a rate that's starting to seriously strain power grids all over the world. And they don't just need power, they need a very, very specific kind of it. And this really gets to the heart of the matter. Solar and wind, they're fantastic. But, the sun doesn't always shine, and the wind doesn't always blow. The AI industry needs power that is on 24/7, completely stable, and critically, zero carbon. And that need creates this perfect opportunity for a new kind of energy solution to step in. And this is the moment Oklo goes from being just an interesting idea to a major player. The company landed a deal that didn't just put it on the map, it basically ripped up the old map and drew a brand new one. So what kind of deal are we talking about? How about this number, 1.2 gigawatts? That's the amount of power Oklo signed an agreement to potentially provide to tech giant Meta for its data centers. To give you an idea of how much that is, we're talking enough juice to power a very, very big city. It's a staggering amount of energy. Okay, so what does 1.2 gigawatts translate to in, dollars and cents? Well, this one deal could generate something like $1.3 billion in revenue for Oklo every single year, starting maybe as early as 2030. But honestly, the money isn't even the most important part of this. For a company that isn't making any money yet, this is a massive vote of confidence from a tech behemoth. It's a signal to the entire market that Oklo's vision is being taken very, very seriously. But wait a minute. How on earth can a relatively small company make such a huge promise? Well, the answer is in its technology, which brings us to our next section, Oklo's nuclear game changer. Meet the heart of Oklo's whole operation, the Aurora Powerhouse. And let me tell you, this is not your grandfather's old-school nuclear reactor. This is an advanced power plant, totally redesigned to be smaller, safer, and way more efficient. All right, let's break this down, because this is where it gets really cool. The Aurora uses something called fast fission. You can think of it as a super efficient way to generate power that also has safety features baked right into its physics. It's also modular, which means you can scale it up or down to fit a specific need. Perfect for something like a data center. But for me, the real game changer is the fuel recycling. This thing is designed to run on what other reactors consider nuclear waste. That could potentially solve one of the biggest headaches in the entire industry. And look, this isn't just a blueprint on a computer screen. Oklo is already hitting some major milestones. It was the very first company to get a site use permit from the Department of Energy for a plant like this. Its application is officially in with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the NRC. The big goal? Get that first plant up and running sometime between 2027 and 2028. That's really not that far away. Okay, so we've got revolutionary technology and a massive deal with Meta. This sounds almost too good to be true, right? Well, this is where we need to pump the brakes a little and have a reality check, because the road ahead is filled with what we're calling the billion-dollar hurdles. Which brings us to the big question everyone is asking. Is this a guaranteed home run? Before you answer that, you have to look at the financial reality of the company today. And this chart right here shows the other side of the coin perfectly. It shows Oklo's earnings per share, and, well, you can see it's all in the red. That's because the company is pre-revenue. In simple terms, they're spending a ton of money to develop this amazing technology, but they haven't sold a single kilowatt of electricity yet. Now, this is totally normal for a company at this stage, but it highlights just how long the road is from here to actually being profitable. So this financial picture points to 4 huge risks. First, regulatory risk. Getting a final license from the NRC is a marathon, not a sprint, and there are absolutely no guarantees. Second, capital costs. Building these plants costs billions, and Oklo is going to need a steady flow of cash. Third, execution risk. The tech looks great on paper, but it has never been deployed commercially at this scale. And finally, market volatility. As we saw at the start, the stock is super speculative and can swing wildly on any piece of news. And of course, Oklo isn't playing this game by themselves. This chart shows its market valuation next to some of its biggest competitors, like NewScale Power and TerraPower, which, by the way, is backed by Bill Gates. So while Oklo has that amazing meta deal, it's operating in a really competitive field where everybody is racing to be the first one to crack the code on advanced nuclear. So when you put it all together, this incredible world-changing potential on one side and these massive, very real risks on the other, what you're left with is a truly high-stakes energy bet. And this right here really sums up the whole story, doesn't it? The bull case is so compelling. Oklo is set to power the AI revolution with game-changing tech that's already been validated by a deal with Meta. But then you look at the bear case, it's a pre-revenue company with unproven technology staring down a long, expensive, and uncertain regulatory road. Both arguments are completely valid. And that's where we land. There's no doubt that the world needs the kind of clean, reliable power that Oklo is promising, especially for our AI-powered future. The technology is brilliant, but turning that brilliant promise into billions of dollars of functioning power plants, well, that's the ultimate test. So what's it going to be? Will Oklo become a revolutionary success, or will it end up as a multi-billion-dollar cautionary tale? Right now, that's the gamble everyone is watching.